Okay, cool.
Hi everyone and welcome to my kitchen. This is Mage Engage, where my aim is to introduce you, the Magento community, to you, the Magento community. And today I am joined by Vinai. Hi Vinai.
Hi, David. Hi, everybody, I guess.
Yeah, the people
See
watch
you.
this. People watch this. It's good. So
The
thank you
people.
for joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you
Mhm.
for inviting me.
Cool. So how about we start off by you introducing yourself to the viewers?
Okay. My name's Vinay. I've been around the Magento ecosystem as a developer since beginning, and it's been a lot of fun. Um, yeah, I don't know. So I'm basically a developer. I'm also a trainer. I do developer trainings, and I've written a book about Magento development, and I don't know what else to say. Well, I'm a family man, married to two kids, which is, they're my favorite part of life, pretty much. That
Cool.
part. No, it's like the only thing that matters that I ever did, right?
Yeah. Well,
So, yep, that's good. And yeah, so I don't know
cool.
what else to say. I live in Germany, half Kiwi, half German.
Uh-huh. That's interesting, but that's a different day. Cool. So I would love to get to talk to you today about your starting with beekeeping, which I find really interesting. Um,
Awesome.
so how about we just start from the beginning? And can you tell us how you got started with it? What got you into beekeeping?
Okay. I got the idea, first time I got the idea was in LA when I was visiting the Museum of Jurassic Technology, which is an awesome place. If you go to LA, visit it. I won't tell you what it is because I can't. It's really strange place, but it's worth visiting. Anyway, I went there a couple of years ago with Ben actually, and yeah, well, one of the exhibitions they had. Started me thinking about it. And then I heard about bees being in trouble, dying, big part of the global bee population every year. So I figured now might be a good time to start.
Nice.
And yeah, now I'm in my first year, so I'm very new.
Hmm.
Just one little beehive, one. That's all. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so you say you've just started, you have one hive. How many
Uh,
bees is a hive?
right. So a fully populated hive is
Hmm.
somewhere between 60 and 100,000 bees. Just guessing, I'd say at the moment I've got maybe 20,000. I don't know,
Okay.
30,000. So they're growing, but they're not reached the full capacity.
Okay, cool. And so how do you start it off? How do you get bees? Yeah, how does it work?
Yeah. Well, a friend of mine, I'm starting it together, a good friend of
Mhm.
mine, Harry. He's also just beginning, and he just went ahead and drove to some guy. I don't know where he found him. It's about a 2 hours drive from here, and bought them. Came home, and before that, we bought the beehives, so we painted them, and he just went there and got them. And so that's how we started. But turned out we were lucky because you're not supposed to do that. In the beekeeper association here, our local little association, um, they warn everybody against buying bees out of the internet because they usually get bred in southern Europe where they come out of winter hibernation or winter time a bit earlier, and then they ship them all over Europe. But they don't really breed them for health, and many of them come with diseases, and the local bees aren't used to those bacteria or germs or whatever, and get sick, and then they fly around, and the other beekeepers get their
Mhm.
occupations infected. So it's a big problem. You're not. It's good to get local bees and from somebody you know personally.
Mhm.
Turned out we were lucky. One of the guys out of our association actually knew the beekeeper we got them from. So yeah, but that was pure luck. Yeah, but that's one way to start.
Okay.
The best way to start, I think, is to join a local association, and they usually have some kind of mentoring program. So one of
Right.
the more experienced beekeepers becomes your mentor,
Mhm.
and he lets you basically tag along while he's taking care of his bees, and you can watch what he does, and then later you go home and try with your own bees.
Okay.
More or
Yeah.
less the same thing, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're part of this association, um,
Yep.
and you have,
That's important.
yeah.
The bee association, by the way, is important not just for learning. I
Hmm.
mean, we've got YouTube for that stuff too. There are plenty of great beekeeping YouTube videos. Imkern von Anfang an, for example, is great.
Okay.
It's also very important for insurance. So if one of your bees gets sick and
Mhm.
infects all the area, you're not liable for killing
Ah,
hundreds of bee populations.
okay. That's interesting. That's something you wouldn't think about, but
Yep.
okay, cool.
Hopefully it'll never need it, right?
Yeah, yeah, hopefully. So do you have your bees at home, or is there a centralized place with the association that they're at?
Um, I haven't got them at home yet. At the
Okay.
moment, they're about 5 kilometers from my home,
Mhm.
where my friend has his also. And my plan is sometime this summer or before they go into hibernation again, I want to move them to
Mhm.
my home and to my garden.
Okay.
And my plan is by that time to have like 4 bee hives, 4 bee
Mhm.
occupations. Um, right. There is a central place where one of the main mentor of our association keeps some of his bees, and where new beekeepers can keep their bees there
Mhm.
too. So I'll probably be putting one of my new hives there too
Okay.
in about a month probably. We'll
Okay.
see about that.
Cool. Um, and so how much honey would one hive produce? Do you know?
How much honey? Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good question. Well, I haven't experienced it yet,
Hmm.
but maybe it's a little bit like the fishers, the biggest fish.
Hmm.
So some of the people say, one beehive gives me 100 kilograms of honey
Okay.
in one harvest,
Hmm.
which sounds like an awful lot. So for me, if I get 20 or 30 kilos of honey, what do I do with it? I
Yeah.
guess I'll figure that out when it's time to do that. But yeah, it's exciting.
Okay.
Uh,
That's cool.
I have no idea how much honey I'll end up with.
Yeah, you may have to get creative with honey recipes. Figure out how to eat that much honey.
All the beekeepers here say that's not a real problem. Just keep it. It'll keep for years and years and years.
Ah,
And in 2 years' time, everybody will know you've got bees and will be asking you for honey, and you'll
okay.
be, that's usually how it seems to go, according to them. So,
Okay, cool. Now, bees have, I would say, a bad press with regards to stinging, and a lot of people don't like bees. Um, how do you find you wear protection when you go with the bees?
oh yeah. Well, first, the whole that a lot of bees is because they're actually
Mm,
very peaceful, and another thing that really annoys them, they're very peaceful. They're not wasps. A lot of people confuse them with because they're also black and yellow and
yeah.
kind of buzzing and they can sting obviously. But since bees die, it's really a last resort measure. Normally they don't sting
Okay.
and they're very safe and they're very important. They pollinate all the flowers here, so well most of them. So it's very very important to take care of the bees and have them.
Mhm.
There's a great documentary I want to, or I can talk about that later, right?
You can
Anyway,
talk about it now if it's for
yeah,
you.
okay. So anyways, more than honey,
Okay.
award-winning documentary, great scenes of bees, and they also show a bit about well, just watch it. It's
Okay.
worth it. It's fascinating and interesting, and you can see a bit about why bees are dying and what happens if there are no bees around, right?
Mm,
And yeah.
yeah. Okay. That's really cool. So one big thing I'd have to ask is what happens, you mentioned it slightly before, but what happens in the winter? What happens to your bees? Uh,
Okay. Once again, my first year,
yeah, I'm sorry.
so I've got a rough idea, right? So
Yeah.
at one point, probably around August or maybe September,
Hmm.
there's one last, you have to do some things. Einwintern, they
Uh-huh.
call it here. And
Okay.
after that, they pretty much you leave them alone.
Okay.
Depending on how you treat some kind of little critter that sucks their blood. It's the varroa milbe. It's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you treat it you have to around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
But strategy. So I'm still learning about that. Oh yeah, but just regarding your other question and protective gear,
Yes.
I started out without one. Didn't have a suit yet.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't got stung yet, but that's pure luck, man. And I just feel a lot more relaxed wearing my suit.
Yeah.
But run, I probably won't wear it a lot.
Okay.
But I don't know. Once again,
Yeah.
I might change my mind after a couple of things. It'll happen for sure.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's really interesting. That you've just started out, that you saw something and you thought, I need to do something, I want to do something, and got involved. It's really, really cool to hear.
The nice thing about bees as an animal is they're very fascinating and there's so much to learn, and I only have to look at them like once a week. So even if I travel or I'm not home working, I can still work around that. So it works for me.
Cool.
So that's good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much for joining today and sharing with us your interesting passion. And as a little reward for being interesting, feel free now to plug whatever it is you're interested in.
All right.
If there's anything.
Thank you for having me, first of all. It's always a pleasure talking to you. And one guy I want to mention is Niels Preuss Patniks on Twitter, because he's a very experienced beekeeper, and I think I admire him. He does so many things, and he's got much more experience than I have. So he's a cool guy. And I want to plug that documentary, More Than Honey. Cool. Go and look at it. It's fun. It's definitely beautiful pictures of bees. Right? And yeah, you can see beekeepers are a little quirky, but they're kind of good. So.
That's cool. Okay. Well, thank you very much for me. And tune in next week for another episode of Mage Engage.
Will do. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.